Thank you very much. It's good to be right back here with you. We have done a lot of work together over the last year. And I will say, for all the challenges, I don't have any doubt that it is making a difference. That's not to say we don't still face big hurdles and challenges, some of which we're in the midst of, as you heard from Buzz, and some of which are still coming. But let's remember, when we stood here together in November, 6 months ago, what we were facing. At that time, Fortis had put on the table, we're either going to build this kind of monstrous as-of-right approach, or we're going to move forward with a proposal which, just you'll remember, would have more than doubled the allowable residential development from 530-ish thousand square feet to over 1.1 million square feet of residential development, and included some school space, but basically like less than half the size of the school that we're in, so not even clearly enough to meet the school seat needs of the development itself, much less any of the surrounding communities, and with many urban design elements which did not comport with the work that the Cobble Hill Association's urban design and planning team had put together. And I think what they expected was, despite the fact that the community would say we don't like it and the elected officials would say we don't like it, nonetheless they would be able to certify that proposal in the ULURP process, go through, and maybe at the end we get to trim a little bit off of it, but more or less that would be the proposal. And it really is, I believe, because of the work we did together, because of the organizing work that the Cobble Hill Association and its board did, because of all those block meetings, because of a lot of organizing work, because of the tight coordination with your elected officials, and this was really something we all did together, the Assemblywoman, the Senator, the Congresswoman, and I, that's not what has happened. That we brought all those petitions that you got signed down to City Hall, built a good relationship with folks in the mayor and the deputy mayor's office who have really listened and did not allow that proposal to move forward to be certified in ULURP. After that, we had a couple of sit-down meetings, as you know, where the Cobble Hill Association board and representatives and the elected officials sat down with Fortis and Department of City Planning and officials at City Hall to go over and make clear what the community's concerns are. And make clear the reasons that we don't like the as-of-right proposal and why, therefore, there might be a rezoning proposal that we thought would be better, but only if it met a whole lot of requirements that the community has for something significantly less dense than that original proposal that they brought, with a real urban design attention that made it work for the neighborhood, to work for the historic district, to meet the community in the right way, something that was much more thoughtful and responsive on school and school seat needs, and a range of other issues. And those conversations took place in the early part of the year. And I think the challenge now is we're still in, I'll be honest, in a wait and see mode. And I think some of us are surprised. We would have expected that, based on Fortis's earlier saying just how important it was for them to move forward rapidly, given the interest they're paying to their, to their lenders, that they would bring something forward, at least that would purport to address the concerns of the community, and we have not seen that yet. So we don't know entirely what's going on behind the scenes. We really have not had a dialogue or a conversation with Fortis in several months now, and so it is certainly, I think, still possible. What we expect is that at some point in the not too distant future, they will come back with a new proposal, and then we will have to again work and judge together what we think of that new proposal and whether it meets the the things that the community said that were a problem with the previous proposal. And I think when we step this meeting up, we would have imagined that by now we would have something to look at. And we don't have something to look at. I have not seen anything. So we don't have something to look at. It's hard to say whether that's good or bad, obviously. You know, there's some of us, I think, that think, well, maybe it'll just never come, and you know, things will stay like this forever. That sounds lovely. I think is unlikely. But I take it. I guess what I would say is, I take it as a good sign. I take it as a sign that City Hall has moved meaningfully in the direction of wanting to have a resolution that could work for the community, because if they didn't, it would be much easier for Fortis simply to come forward with something that might still look a lot like what they had showed us before. So I believe that the fact that it is taking a while, and the fact that they didn't simply move forward with what they had proposed or some close facsimile to it, is a sign that our work together, that our organizing together, that all those meetings, that all that organizing, that all that really detailed work that the design committee and the finance and the legal committee did is having an impact. The proof will be in the pudding, and until we see it, there's just no way to know, and I'm not going to try to tell you, and we'll look at it together when it comes. In the meantime, obviously, there are the challenges that you have heard about, and the fact that there are the closures of the park and the street for demolition. While we haven't seen even the approved plans, we're told that the city has not yet, well, not we're told. If they had approved the plans, we would know, it would be on the website, and we would be able to see the plans for the new NYU facility. We have asked to see the submitted plans that they are considering for approval, but those are private documents, and until they approve them, they don't become public, and they have not met our request to show them to us before that. But look, it is frustrating because it's now been a long time that the closures have taken place, that the demolition is underway, and we don't have the ability to take a look at and understand what the NYU facility is proposed to be. So these challenges that you're hearing are underway, and all we can do is keep sticking together. I mean, I think the work you are doing to raise money, to consider legal options, to work together very closely with the elected officials and the community, and stand ready, both on the day-to-day issues of closure and then to be able to respond together and consider a proposal when they put it on the table. That's what we can do, but I don't say that fatalistically. Like, I really think that what Fortis expected in November was far different from where we are today, that it would have been moving forward with that proposal or something very close to it, and that we're in a much better spot than we were, and that we really are because of that work we've done.